what's going on, Dr. Jolley? I love being in the green room. I love being what I call behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is where the magic happens. Look, so I don't have to read this long bio because we'd be here the whole program. Take a moment, if you would, Dr. Jolley, and tell the folks who is Dr. Jolley, number one, and what are you up to these days, my man?
Well, first, I want to thank you, Shay Brown, and I want to give greetings to all your crowd, your tribe, your community, and to your listeners and viewers. I am Dr. Willie Jolley, and if anybody knows me, they know I cannot start talking about anything till I give them this message. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it, didn't seek it, didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. For those who know me, know that I am the author of the book, It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life. And I'm also the host of the Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley Motivational Minute across America on the Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell show. And I am a guy who made a living for many years and made an impact as a singer who got fired and replaced by a karaoke machine about 30 years ago and found a new calling, or found my true calling, maybe better, to speak and inspire and entertain all at the same time and sing. And a new venue, from nightclubs to the world, and inspiring people to not let their setbacks, their situations or circumstances stop them from living their best lives. So I went on to write a book called A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. After It Only Takes a Minute to Change Your Life. Then turn setbacks into greenbacks. Then An Attitude of Excellence. Then Chicken Soup for the Soul. Then Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last with my wife. And in the process, I was honored to be named one of the top 5 speakers in the world by Toastmasters. I was inducted into Speaker Hall of Fame. I was named a legend of the speaking industry. And that all happened because I got fired, had a setback, had a crisis moment. But I did some things to help me turn that setback into a comeback, and to turn that crisis moment into an opportunity to grow and live my dreams. And that's what I want to share with people today as we go through this crisis moment. How you can make the most of this moment and learn to see it from another perspective and remain calm, cool, collected, and on your way to living your dreams in spite of the coronavirus.
You know, I love what you're saying there, Dr. Jolley. For those folks that are just tuning in, do me a favor. You have my permission and you have Dr. Willie Jolley's permission to go ahead and pay this message forward. You can hit the share button right now. For those folks out there like Gordon Young just watching right now, Dolores McDaniel's out there, your girl Teresa Royal Brown is in the house, Nancy Alert's in the house. So many folks are tuning in. Hit the share button. When you hit the share button, just write those words: turn setbacks into comebacks. Hashtag Dr. Willie Jolley. Just look right there, because we're going to pay a message for it. This is from Dr. Willie Jolley, and you can bless someone else. You can support someone else, and you can make a difference for someone else as well. So how do you do that? Hit the button right now. Hit the share button. And after you hit the share button, write these words: turn setbacks into comebacks. Hashtag Willie Jolley. Just put hashtag Willie Jolley. Now, Dr. Jolley, before we get going, Eric Heilich is out there from Orlando right now. Teresa says, love you, my dear friend. Take a moment, if you would, before we even get started. And what is Dr. Willie Jolley's mission in life right now? What purpose are you on? You've done so much, my man.
Well, that's a great question, because my purpose and my mission right now is different than my regular mission, and not my purpose, but my mission. Most times in normal times. I would put it like that. I'm speaking to companies, organizations, and associations about how to develop an attitude of excellence, how to grow their success. One of my books is An Attitude of Excellence, and these are some of the principles that I used helping Ford Motor Company when they were on the brink of bankruptcy, to go from being on the brink of bankruptcy to being able to reject the government bailout to go on to billion-dollar profits. So that's usually what I'm doing, is helping companies to grow their productivity, their performance, and their profitability. But now, right now, my purpose is different. My purpose now is to serve others and help people through this tough time. I'm reminded of one of my mentors, Charlie Tremendous Jones, who was one of the preeminent, iconic first wave of motivational speakers back in the 1950s and 60s. And in 2008, Charlie was an elderly man at that point. And I'd had the honor of being on tour with him and getting to become friends with him. But he came into a room full of all the Hall of Fame speakers that we were meeting at the National Speakers Association, and all the Hall of Fame speakers were sitting there. And we were kind of bemoaning the fact that our businesses were down because of the economic downturn. People had canceled conferences. Companies had canceled their meetings. People were struggling through the economic downturn. Charlie walked in and said, "All you Hall of Famers, I got a message for you. America's in trouble. America needs your message now more than ever. I know your businesses are down. I know, but don't whine and cry, because this is not the time to do that. You got to go to work. You got to do what you were here to do. You got to do what you called to do, and what your purpose is. Go to work." And we all did that. We stopped whining and crying about our businesses being down, and we went to work and helped America come back. I worked with Ford and other companies, and others worked with other companies, and we helped America come back. Well, today the globe is in a crisis. The world is in trouble, and the world needs my message now more than ever, of that this setback is a setup for a comeback. They need to hear that there are principles that they can use to not only get through this time, not just go through this time, but actually grow through this time, become better from this experience. They got some principles that they need to hear, and they need to be encouraged. They need help to get through this. They need hope. They need an inspirational message, and that's what I'm called to do. So that's my purpose now. I'm doing these interviews all day long, and people say, "I don't have money." I'm doing the interviews. I'm working with companies. Many of my clients, like Gaylord National Harbor is one of my clients. The general manager, we had a long conversation the other night. They shutting down. They've furloughed or laid off all their employees. People are hurting. My friend at Hyatt, who is the global vice president in Hyatt's headquarters, he and I had a conversation. He said, "I needed to hear from you. I'm so glad you called me. This is unbelievable. We've shut all our hotels, or almost all our hotels around the world. People are losing their jobs. I need your help. Now is my time to help. I'll get mine later." But that's why I'm on with Shay. When Shay called and said, "Can you make some time in your schedule?" I said, "Absolutely, because this is why I'm here now. This is my reason. This is my purpose. This is my call on my life, to inspire and encourage people and give them some hope and some help through this time."
You know, that is so powerful. Everyone is out there watching right now. If you listen to the podcast, you can't do this, but you can take the link. First, hit the share button. After you hit the share button, right, turning setbacks into comebacks. We're going to pay this message forward. Don't worry, I'm going to ask Dr. Jolley before we get started, what does he tell himself? What affirmations, what belief statements, what does he tell himself when he gets up and he hears the news, right? Because it's on all day long. He sees the Facebook messages, it's there all day long, and he gets the calls. What does he tell himself just to stay focused? We'll talk about setbacks or comeback principles, but I want to know, what is he doing? Because he's a mentor of mine. What is he telling himself right now? And what is he feeding his brain? And you want to know that as well, but you don't want to hold it to yourself. So here's what I want you to do. After you hit the share button, look right below the video, and I want you to write these words: turn setbacks into comebacks. Hashtag Willie Jolley. Just put turn setbacks into comebacks. Hashtag Willie Jolley. Dr. Willie Jolley, I guess the question I was asking is, what are you telling yourself, man? You hear something, and then you got to get back and send an email off, and then you get a phone call, and then you got to go back and do something. There's so many distractions. How are you staying focused?
Well, first of all, I've got a daily routine that I maintain. And second, I've got principles. I want you to write this down. This is one of my favorite axioms. Methods are many. Principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. There are some principles that I learned from 9/11 that got me through that. Then the 2008 downturn got me through that. And the principles I learned in helping Ford Motor Company to go from the brink of bankruptcy to being able to reject a government bailout to billion-dollar profits. And these principles are hard rock. They are true. They work. And they are not methods, but they are principles that are true and continue to work if you work them. So that's what I do. And I'm going to give your listeners, your viewers, those principles. Now, before I give them the principles, let me tell you my daily routine. Every morning, I wake up, my eyes open up. My first thought, first words are, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for another day. That's first. First, before I do anything, say anything, I'm grateful for another shot. Because every day you wake up is a blessing. You don't believe it? Try missing one. After I give thanks, and I fall on my knees and I pray. Roll out the bed, fall on my knees, and I pray for my wife, my children, my family, my friends, my day. That my day won't be just a day of activity, but it'll be a day of results. You know, we can get caught up in activities. We busy. We running here. We running there. We running here. We're doing this. But what are the results that you get? Because that's the most important. Because some people on a treadmill, they running. When at the end of the day, they're the same place they started. But you want to get somewhere. You want to do something. You want to create something. You want to have some productivity. So I pray for every day that I'm productive. And I'm not just running in place, but I'm actually creating some impact. Then I go, after I've done my prayer, I go to the bathroom and do whatever my bathroom means. I brush teeth, everything. And then I come back and I read or listen to something positive in the morning. This morning I woke up and I turned on the radio and listened to my Wake Up and Win with Dr. Willie Jolley segment on the Get Up Morning with Erica Campbell show. I turned it on, listened, heard my message today. I said, that's a good message. See, faith cometh by hearing, hearing and hearing. And I don't care if it comes from me or somebody else. I want some positive. So I listen to something positive in the morning to get my day going. Then I do check the news, but I don't dwell on it. I don't sit there for hours and hours and hours. I get the quick news. I get what's going on, what's the latest that I need to be aware of. And then I go do some exercise. I go get some activity. I'm thankful I have a gym in my home, and I go up to the gym. I move my body, and I start feeling better. My body, my endorphins start kicking in. We want to get those endorphins. Endorphins are natural stress reducers and energy improvers and motivators inside motivators to inspire you and motivate you. Endorphins, they start to popping. I'm feeling better. Okay, I'm ready to go. All right, now then I'm ready to go. I go either to go get some breakfast, or I'll go then to my office, which is in another part of my home, and I will get on a call, check my email. Oh, I did one more thing while I'm exercising. One more thing I got to remember. While I'm in that exercise, I pull out my cell phone and I read scripture every day. While I'm working out, I read something. I read one chapter from the Bible and I read a proverb every day. And then I'm trying to memorize certain passages. So I'll practice that while I'm on the bike. Okay, I read today, let's see, I read, the day was 2 Corinthians, 7th chapter. Every day I read one chapter. And then I read a proverb from the Message version. Not just a proverb, but the Message. Eugene Peterson has a up-to-date version of the Bible that's like talking to you and me today. And I read, what's the day? The day's the 27th. I read the 27th proverb. And so, and then I read, and I'm memorized. I'm very transparent. I tell y'all everything. I tell y'all the whole deal. And then I'm memorizing Psalm 34, which I think is my most favorite. Most people like the 23rd Psalm. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I like that one too. But my favorite is, I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continuously be in my mouth. My soul makes its boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear of it and be glad. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt his name together. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. They looked at him and were radiant. Their faces were not ashamed. The poor man cried out to the Lord, and the Lord heard him and saved him out of all his troubles. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who trusts in him. I trust him. So I'm blessed. So I know he's going to take care of me. He's going to do the things that he says. So I remind myself, I memorize that. So those are some of the things I do. And then I go to work. Because let me tell you, it's still time to work. Some people are watching television all day. They're dwelling on it. But I go to my principles. I do the things that work. And I have found that they consistently keep me going and growing and flowing to the next level. So I'm excited about being here with you, Che Brown. And you know, Che Brown is such a great entrepreneur, happy entrepreneur. And so I'm just grateful. And his whole family, just a great father, was a great man. His brother is a dear friend. In fact, his brother is the reason why we know each other. So yeah. I'm grateful to be here.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Jolley. We appreciate it. For those folks that are out there and you're ready for a comeback, like you're on the comeback, just look right below the video. Just type the number 1. When you hit the number 1, that's just the signal that, you know what, I'm ready for my comeback. Like, this is my time. This is my moment. And I'm going to do exactly what Dr. Willie Jolley said. I'm going to go to work. Now, some of you are going to just put number 1 down, and we appreciate that. Some of you are going to just copy that phrase and turn setbacks into comebacks. And for those who want to write a little more, turn comebacks into setbacks. Some of you are hitting number 1, like Eric, by the way. There's Willie Jolley. He got it. Dr. Jolley says a setback is a setup for a comeback. We're going to get to that. He got his shirt there. Don't worry. I'm going to ask how you guys can get these tools so you can stay in the conversation. He showed up to bless you, but hit number 1 like Eric did. Hit number 1 like Sharon Green did. Sharon is up in Canada, by the way. And Sharon, you got to connect with Dr. Willie Jolley. She has a whole tribe up there. Blacks Inspired, by the way, up in Canada, Dr. Jolley. There's so many folks that I know you'd want to connect with, but got to connect with her. Yes, he's doing broadcasts out there. They're listening right now. Anita says number 1. Here's my question to you, Dr. Jolley, is we're just doing something that we've never done before, but we're in uncharted waters. When Dr. Jolley gets the phone call from the executive, there are a number of folks that are home right now. Folks have already hit the share button. For everybody hit the share button, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We believe in the giver's economy. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. The person that outgives the competition out-earns the competition. So make sure that you hit the share button and put turning setbacks into comebacks. First, I'm going to ask Dr. Jolley what his message is to the executives out there, to the CEOs out there, folks, even like us or others that have to cut some people back. They've got to lay some folks off. They got to furlough that. I'm going to ask them, what is his message for those folks that have to deal with that and uncertain about the future? And then after that, we'll come back and we're going to talk about the small business owner. You, the person that's sitting at home right now, and it's like, wow, I've got to change my whole business. But first, I'm asking him if he'll just have a message for all the executives, all the folks that are home right now. Their teams are working from home. I know, Dr. Jolley, you've been partnering with a number of companies, and you're making yourself available to help them with their teams as well. So take a moment and talk about that message for executives that are out there right now. They've got to send people home to work from home, which they've never done before, or they got to lay them off or furlough them.
Well, I talk to executives, and my message to executives during this challenging time is pretty much the same message I give to entrepreneurs as well. Because entrepreneurs got to call their mortgage companies. They've got to call their credit card companies. They've got to call their suppliers. They've got to call their accountants, their bookkeepers. And they've got to say, I can't pay you right now. There are a lot of folks who might not be big CEOs, but got to use the same principles that I give to the CEOs, the VPs, the HR directors. One of my clients called the other day. He ordered a bunch of books for his people. He said, because their mental health is being stressed and strained. I need your books. Can you get them to me overnight? So he ordered books for his people, and we worked it out to get them shipped to him overnight. So here are the principles. Number one, don't panic. Don't panic. Whatever you do, do not panic. Panic is taken from the Greek word to choke. When you panic, you choke off the air to your brain. You cannot think clearly. You cannot make wise decisions. In 1929, there was a stock market crash. People panicked. Some jumped off of bridges. Some took guns and committed suicide, not realizing that the market would come back bigger and better than ever. You just got to think your way through this time. In my book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks, I share some folks who during the Great Depression, the greatest depression of all time, they had the choice to panic, but they made up their mind they would not panic because that would take away their ability to think clearly. But they thought their way through the problem. One of those guys who did that was named Charles Darrow. Here's how it reads. You might not know Charles Darrow's name, but you certainly know his invention. During the Great Depression, he lost everything in the crash of 1929, but he refused to give up and panic. He refused to stop thinking. He worked on an idea for a new board game to help people feel like they were rich when they had no money. Within a year, the game was released, and it sold more than 20,000 units, and he went on to become a multimillionaire. The name of the game is Monopoly. So Monopoly was created during the Great Depression. You know, this is a time to think, and you cannot think if you are panicking. Lady called me the other day, panicking. I don't know this woman. She got my office and talked to my wife, because our staff is all virtual now. And my wife said, this lady, you need to talk to her. She was calling from Florida. She said, I bought your book, Attitude of Excellence. I love your writing, but I need to know, will you pay my mortgage? I'm about to, I said, oh, what was that? I need to know, will you pay? Can I give you my mortgage company's name so you can pay my mortgage? I said, oh, first of all, are you behind in your mortgage? She said, no, but they called me today and said that I need to pay. I said, first, stop, calm down, breathe. Now let's get you calm. First of all, You need to call not the person who called you, who's a salesperson. You need to call the mortgage company and ask them for two things. You need a deferment of your payment this month and no penalties. Now, there's going to be a $2 trillion government program that's about to be signed in Congress where companies are going to get money to help people through these moments. Companies are going to get money so that they can defer payments. So call you. Don't wait for. Don't listen to the person whose job is to push people to make a payment. Your job is to call the management and talk to them. Really? Yes. Okay. So you got to help people through this. I don't know this woman. She said she tried to call Oprah and tried to call a few other well-known people. I said, how did it go? She said, nobody would take my call. You're the first to take my call. I said, let me tell you why. Because this is my time to help people like you. This is what I'm called to do. So don't panic. Now, let me tell you how to do that, because it's easy to say don't panic. But let me give you a technique of how I do it. Because it gets tight. Let me tell you. All my speeches, every speech I had on my calendar, all my programs have been either postponed or canceled. That meant our income came to a screeching halt. Skeet! If it hadn't been for my radio income, I'd have no income. Or the few books that we've sold, I'd have no income. So I've got staff. And I made up my mind. I'm not laying anybody off. I'm not doing it. So when this thing got tight and I realized the money was tight, I thought back to one of my next principles, which was from Duke Green, which I tell you, and I went to my 401k, took a loan out so I can pay my staff. They will not be paid. So how do I do it, though? I had to think through that. How to get calm to think through what are my options. I breathe. And I repeat a mantra that we give in our office. I'm healthy. In fact, I want you to do it with me, Shay. Repeat after me. And everybody who's looking, listen. This is a mantra we do, an affirmation.
Okay.
I am healthy.
I'm healthy.
I am wealthy.
I am wealthy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I feel terrific.
I feel terrific.
I am blessed and highly favored.
I am blessed and highly favored.
This is the day.
This is the day
that the Lord has made.
That the Lord has made.
And I will rejoice.
And I will rejoice.
And be glad in it.
And be glad in it.
And I pray.
And I pray.
Send prosperity today.
Send prosperity today.
Money coming my way.
Money coming my way.
And I'm going to do all I can.
And I'm going to do all that I can.
To make it come this way.
To make it come this way.
Amen.
Amen.
And I say that we do it as a staff. We do it every morning, whether we are live in the same area or whether we're virtual. We do it every day. We do that to get us focused. And then I take time every day. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I breathe. I'm blessed and highly favored, and I breathe. And the more I say it, the deeper the breaths get. So that's what I want to encourage people to do. Use some calming techniques. Take a walk. Go do some exercise. Get some endorphins kicking in. So that's first. Don't panic. Number 2, don't willingly participate nor commiserate. Now, you're a CEO. You've got to make some tough choices. But first thing, you must not participate nor commiserate. Now, how do you not participate? You don't go out and take chances with your health during this coronavirus crisis. They have told you, don't hang around crowds. You don't know who's sick. 2, wash your hands a lot. 3, make sure that you are mindful of how many times you touch your face. So, I'm not participating in getting around crowds and hanging out with folks. My wife and I are hunkered down. We're going to get through this, and we're not participating. Number 2, we're not commiserating. We're not buying in all gloom and doom either. We're not going to talk about how bad things are all day long. And that means what you got to do, what you said earlier, Shay. You know that the news is on 24/7, and it's mostly bad news. So you must limit the amount of time that you are focused on the bad news. You heard me earlier. I limit my television time. I limit it because I don't want to be overwhelmed. Look, if I took a sponge, put it in a bucket of water, at some point it would not be able to be a sponge anymore and take up any more water because it's overwhelmed. It's become ineffective. You are the same. There's only so much of this you can take before you start. So that is why you got to limit your time so you can continue to be effective. And that's why I made it a point. I don't listen to the news all day. I read or listen to something positive. I listen to positive music in here, and I got a big announcement that's going to bless you all that I'm going to give you in a couple minutes. So don't jump off now, because I got a big announcement that you're going to love. Okay, so don't commiserate, don't buy into the gloom and doom, and don't participate. Number 3.
Now, Willie Jolley, before you go to number 3, I want someone out there right now to go ahead and look right below the video. And I want you to hit the share button. I want you to pay this message forward. We believe in the giver's economy. This message, Dr. Willie Jolley, he didn't ask for a Cash App payment. He didn't ask for a Zelle payment. He didn't say, Shay, wire me some money. He said, Shay, I'm born to do this. This is my time to help. And this is the time when I'm needed the most. So do me a favor, 2 favors, and then I'm going to ask him to get to the other points. Number 1, hit the share button. Hit the watch party button. Just write these words. Turn your setbacks into comebacks. That's one way that you can bless this message. You can help not only Dr. Jolley, but this show right now. We want to get this message out to 1 million plus folks right now. Dr. Willie Jolley is having one of those $50,000 conversations kind of behind the scene. That's the value of the conversation we're really having. I'm so glad you're here, and we're humble. Number 2, just do me a favor. He's getting some good stuff. And I didn't know he was going to get this intimate. He's like being intimate. He's being private. He's being transparent. Never before in this type of conversation have I seen this, and this is really special. So I want you to look below the video. And as Dr. Jolley's doing a good job, put Dr. Jolley, great job. If you want to send him a message, say, thank you, Dr. Jolley. If you want to say anything, say, Dr. Jolley, I'm on the track. Or is it Dr. Jolley, I'm going to bless someone else. So you can talk directly to, look right below the video and write those words. Let him know that we appreciate him. He can always make more money. This he knows to be 100% true. All of us are going to make more money, but none of us can make more time. And he's given us his most precious resource he has right now, which is time. And he's walking us through what he's doing and what he's teaching his clients to do right now in these times. And he's somebody that knows something about setbacks to comebacks. All right, Dr. Jolley, go ahead and continue on if you would, my man.
All right, so the next one is, don't let your pride poison your prosperity. Don't let your pride poison your prosperity. By the way, I might as well tell you, these principles are out of my book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks.
There you go.
All right. Turn setbacks into greenback. Don't let your pride poison your prosperity. This is one of those ones where I used my 401k to pay my staff, but I didn't think that up. I learned it from one of my mentors, and I talk about him in chapter number 3 of the book. Don't let your pride poison your prosperity. His name was Duke Green. Duke Green was the CEO of IBS, one of the first big African-American IT companies in America. He was a Fortune magazine regular. He built this huge company, hiring the best from Howard University and Harvard University and MIT and Hampton University. Well, in the 1970s, when he was really growing his company, he had hired these people, but then there was a recession. There was a economic downturn. There was a gas shortage. So he had to keep money coming in when money got tight. So what was he going to do? He didn't want to lay off any of his people because they were the best and the brightest, and he needed to keep growing his business. So he took his money as the CEO, his personal money, and paid his staff. But after a while, his money got tight. He had to pay his own bills. So what he did was he worked as a CEO from 8 till 6 in the evening, and then from 8 at night till 2 or 3 in the morning, he'd drive a trash truck. He said, I drove a trash truck to get me through college. I can do it again. And he did that for a year until money became more flowing and he was able to go back just to be the CEO. And because he was willing to make that kind of sacrifice, that kind of commitment, he was able to continue to build his company, didn't lay off any of his people. And some years later, he was able to sell his company for $500 million. So he said the secret was that he didn't let his pride get in the way of his prosperity. He would do whatever he had to do that was legal and moral. And that's why I want to say to you, whatever you got to do that's legal and moral. You might be able to cook. My daughter, I'm very proud of her. She's a cosmetologist in North Carolina. But we talked the other day, and she said, Dad, all my clients have shut down. I got no money coming in. So what I did was go back to what I know how to do, also cook. He said, I'm cooking dinners for people, and I'm dropping them off at their homes. Put them in at their front door. They cash at me. I put it at their front door. I text them and say, your food's there. She said, I don't get to have to see them. I don't have to do any get close to them. They don't have to get close to me. I'm making money. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe you can cook. Maybe you can organize. Maybe you can write. Maybe you can edit. Maybe you can help somebody do what you do. I don't know what it is your gifts are, but you got some gifts that you're probably not using because, they're not your regular way of making money. But if you're willing to not let your pride get in the way of your prosperity, you can make some revenues and create some streams. Number 4. Oh, let me give you a break. Go ahead, Jay.
Number 4. Dr. Jolley is laying it out there right now. For those folks that are listening, I see Loretta Bosch is out there right now. Nina says, this is very encouraging. Thank you so much. Jacqueline Taylor Adams is out there. Thank you so much. Nancy Alert's out there. We appreciate you. Sakisha says, thank you, Dr. Jolley. Karina says, Dr. Jolley, great job. Madeline Ann Lewis, what's up, Dr. Lewis? We got to chat. She's out there right now. Says, turn setbacks into comebacks. Everyone right now, do me a favor. Hit the share button again. Hit the watch party button right now. Pay this message forward. And I'm going to ask Dr. Jolley. No one says he has a big surprise, but I'm going to ask him, these books that he's talking about right now, these principles he's sharing, these are his books. I mean, like he didn't go to the shelf and say, well, let me find this book over here. These are his books that he has right now. And I'm going to ask him, how can you connect? How can you get a copy of the book? How can you read this and make this a part of your daily routine? All right, Dr. Jolley, go ahead and finish sharing these principles and frame the conversation again. You said there's principles, and then I think you said there's methods, but then methods change, but principles are the same. I'm trying to remember, you guys. Don't worry about it. I'm going to let Dr. Jolley do it a couple more times, but that hit home for me. And how many ideas do you need to change your life? Really? One. Yeah. And Dr. Jolley is probably sharing 50 plus good ideas. Grab one and do it. Take it away, Dr. Jolley.
Methods are many. Principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. And so here is the lesson that these principles are going to stay the same and will work if you work them. So I want you to listen to these principles. They work. I tell my CEO friends. I tell my entrepreneur friends. I talked to that lady who called the other day and said, would you pay my mortgage? I'm freaking out. I said, here are the principles. Don't panic. Don't willingly participate, nor commiserate. Stay healthy and don't buy the gloom and doom. Stay physically healthy and mentally healthy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Number 3, don't let your pride poison your prosperity. Number 4, don't stop thinking about the power and possibilities of tomorrow. When we were in that Ford setback, what we did was we dealt with one eye on the immediate issue, but we also kept one eye on the ultimate goal. The old axiom is for if you play golf and you hit the ball into the rough, good golfers, Tiger Woods, they don't freak out. Their first goal right then is get the ball back into the fairway. They don't go for everything. They don't freak out. They don't fall apart. One thing at that moment. Get the ball in the fairway because I still got my eye on the big goal of winning the tournament. What's your goals? What are the goals you set? Many people are freaking out now because they don't have clear goals. Chapter number 3 in my book, A Setback is a Setup for a Comeback. Chapter number 3, if the dream is big enough, the problems don't matter. If the dream is big enough, the problems don't matter. So, calm down, think your way, one eye on this coronavirus crisis, but one eye on your goals and dreams. By the way, if you haven't set your goals and you don't have compelling goals, then you're missing what drives me. What drives me is my compelling goal. Now, Del Toro, I know he's watching. My son in speaking, I helped him become a speaker. Del Toro was a student at University of South Florida, and I was coming to Tampa to speak. He called my office, and he said, hey, I want to be a speaker. And I taught him some principles and how to become a speaker. He used them. Now he's one of the top speakers in the world, certified speaking professional. Everybody knows Del Toro McNeil is one of the most powerful motivational presences on the globe. Now, I'm using Del Toro for 2 things. One is to tell you that I helped him become a speaker. So if you're interested in becoming a speaker, then I want you to go to youcanspeaknow.com. Youcanspeaknow.com and get my speaker training. It's a downloadable 3-hour training. Shay helped us to get it up and out and going. So youcanspeaknow.com to get that. But I want to share this with you about the power of goals. This picture, and Del Toro likes to tell us.
And Dr. Jolley, I got a question that came up just real quick. We're going to get to the picture. It said something. You said you can. Is the you Y-O-U?
Y-O-U. Y-O-U can speak now.com.
All right. So everyone, I want you to open up a browser now. No offense, Dr. Jolley. Sometimes these websites don't work. So everyone open up a browser right now. Type in Y-O-U can, C-A-N, speak.com. Do that right now. As soon as you do it.
You can speak now.
Youcanspeaknow.com. Now, once they do that, now, Dr. Jolley, I'm going to do something cool for you, by the way, because it's you. All right. So we're here now on the site, Dr. Jolley. They're looking at the site right now. They're on your site. And when they get here, take a moment and just talk. I know you weren't planning on doing this. I understand about it. But I'm curious for the persons out there says, I'm not an NSA speaker, Dr. Jolley. I haven't been to Toastmasters International like some of the other folks. In fact, I'm like Shay. I'm a stutterer from time to time. Are those the folks you even deal with at all? Or do they have to be these people that are getting paid these big bucks on the stage?
No, these are the principles that helped me to build a speaking business, helped me teach Del Toro how to build his speaking business. Simon T. Bailey, he was one of my mentees. Walter Bond, all of these are mentees. So I said, if you do these speaking basics, you'll be able to build. This is not for everybody, but if you're interested in speaking, feel free to go there. It's something that we want to help people, and it was born out of a conversation I had with Les Brown. We were on the road. He said, Willie, some of these characters out here teaching people how to become world-class speakers and make, $20,000, $10,000. They've never done it themselves. We do that every day.
Wow.
We should help people. And I said, you know what? I'm going to teach people what I know to get them up and going. And rather than 20 grand, I'm going to do it for.
But let them just go to the website. Let them fill it out. There's information.
But more important, I want to get to the goal because
I got them distracted. I couldn't help it. I had to bring this up.
But that's where I wanted them to go because everybody needs goal. The goal setting. So this is my goal sheet.
Okay.
Or one of my goals. I got goals over there. I got goals written everywhere. But this is my plane.
Let me go here.
Let's see my plane.
There it is.
Now this is another plane. Now behind this picture is a picture of me pointing to a white Tesla. Okay. In 2015, I was on the Get Motivated tour with me, Les Brown, Damon John, a bunch of folks on the Get Motivated tour. I replaced Zig Ziglar when he died. And we were in Atlanta. And my wife and I, we had some time to kind of walk around and hang out in the city. So we went to this mall, and there was a Tesla in the mall. I'd never seen a white Tesla. And I'm 2015, and I was blown away. All electric. It was loaded, had everything. I was like, wow. I took a picture. I said, Dig, take a picture with me putting my finger on this Tesla. I took a picture putting my finger on the Tesla. And I set it as a goal. I put it up. I started watching it every day. 2015 went by. 2016 went by. 2017 went by. 2018 went by. But in the fall of 2018, I hit my goal. I bought a white Tesla. Cash. I'm not saying that to impress you. I just want to show it's possible. I've been saving my money. I've been investing my money. And I took some of my stocks, sold them. In fact, I bought Tesla stock. And I sold some of my Tesla stock to buy me a white Tesla cash. It's out in my backyard charging right now. Now, I've covered over the Tesla because I got that. Now I got my finger pointed to my plane. My plane. My plane. The plane. The plane. The plane. The plane. I want a plane. So that's my next goal. Now, I'm far away from it, but I keep setting the goal. Now, if you don't have powerful, compelling goals, one eye on the problem, one eye on the big goal. If you don't have compelling goals, I want to help you. That's what Shay helped me. So, beginning of the year, I said I'm going to do one of my goal-setting seminars, but I wanted to make it something that not just for people in Washington who could be there. I wanted to make it global. And I called Shay just to ask him, hey, I need your advice. But he's the expert. He and Trevor are the experts in this. Shay said, man, you going to do the seminar? I said, yeah. The one that, helped a lot of people over the years? I said, yeah. I'm going to do it, but I want to do it this time from my home, not a big arena or a convention center. I'm going to do it from my home so people can access it from their homes. He said, I got you, Dr. Jolley. I'm coming. And we're gonna record it so we can simulcast it and people can get access. So we did. It's phenomenal. It's the best goal setting seminar I have ever done. Shay, you were there.
Well, I was there, and one of the things that I admire most about it is that he actually has exercises. And I believe for those folks that can take available of watching it, there's a worksheet that goes with it, the workbook. One of the things y'all don't know is why Dr. Jolley has all the knowledge and he's the genius and he can speak. His wife can just throw down when it comes to curriculums and production. I just want to tell you that D. Jolley can make it happen.
Back office boss.
She can make it happen. So what I enjoyed most about it was going through it and having a worksheet, whereas he was teaching, we were writing, and we walked away and we were doing. So it wasn't something we had to come and listen and get encouraged and inspired. We actually was working on the manual right there. And one of the things that made me think about was the 10-year goal. And truthfully, I had never thought about 10 years. I mean, that just blew my mind. I mean, I've heard about it, I read about it, and I've seen YouTube videos about it, but I never sat there. And there's something powerful when you look down and you say, you know what? 10 years from now, this is who I will become.
Yes.
And I wrote some things down that are personal to me at that moment. And I'm going to tell you right now, and it has encouraged me. It has inspired me. It is inside of my notepad because I use the Apple products, and it helps me when I'm writing in my gratitude journal every morning. Dr. Jolley didn't know that about me, but I walked out there like inspired and empowered. And it's why we're doing some of the things we're doing today. Because I said 10 years from now, this is the person I will become, and this is the folks I will help. So I encourage you. I don't know what he's going to do because we didn't know we were going to talk about this, but it's very important. But I'm going to find out if you can get your hands on it. I'm going to tell you this. If you can get your hands and you can see and you can hear and you can do, it's the best use of your time.
Well, I want to give people access to that seminar. Okay, so if you go to williejolly.com/win, WIN, you can get access to that seminar. It's about 4 hours. You can do it with your family. Do what Shay just talked about. Bring your family around one night, rather than watching Netflix or something. We work on our goals. Or on Saturday. We're going to work on our goals today, family. And I'll lead you through on the seminar, and you get the workbook, you get all sorts of stuff. Go to williejolly.com/win and get that goal. That will, remember, one eye on the problem, but one eye on the compelling goal. If the goal and the dreams are big enough, the problems will not matter as much. Okay, now number 7.
I verify, ladies and gentlemen, that the website does work. I verify. You go over to www.williejolly.com/win, and you can follow the instructions. It does work. The number one reason you want to do this, the number one reason, according to Shay Brown, might not be Dr. Jolley's number one reason, but the number one reason you need to go do this is that it's time to reset. our goals.
Right.
It's time to rethink. If not reset the goals, reset the strategy that we need to do there. And in some cases, we got to reset the goals. I mean, these are different times. It's uncharted water. Dr. Jolley's laying out some principles that you might not have been applying before. You may have had the goal, but one of the things my dad used to teach me is the best intentions don't equal the best results. And so you need to now have the strategies that he's teaching you in order to apply them to reach your goal.
All right, now I got a big announcement before I go to other principles. Because the other principles play into this big announcement. They are be proactive, be creative. Is that during this coronavirus crisis, I just said, okay, I've got my XM show. I'm doing it on coronavirus at 4 o'clock tomorrow at Saturday. You should listen to XM. My daily radio show talking about how to get through this coronavirus crisis. I do it tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I do a Jolly Good News Report, where if you're sick of all the bad news, you need some good news. I'm going to do at 10 o'clock a Facebook Live program about good news. Monday nights, we do Happily Married Monday with the Jolly. My wife and I do our marriage Facebook Live. I said, but I got to do more. I got to do more. And I woke up in the middle of the night and said, that song, I forgot about it. And it's called We'll Get Through This. I recorded it years ago. And I had not put it out. I had forgotten about it. It was produced by Al Johnson and John Stoddard. It's a phenomenal song that I sang on years ago. And I'm going to play a little bit of it for you right now. I got a big announcement. The announcement is today at 5 o'clock, the world premiere of the music video will be released. 5 o'clock. You can access it on my YouTube page. It's going to be at youtube.com/Willie Jolley. So here's a little bit of the song. I want you to hear it. I want you to be blessed by it. It'll bless your heart. It'll bless your spirit. It'll bless you. Here we go.
Pull the shades down on the sun. Don't wanna see the morning break to another day. Are the words I hear you say. Close the door and keep it shut. You say it's just too much for you to take. How do you begin to make your way back to some kind of peace of mind? Let me share with you what's been proven through time. We'll get through this. We'll break new ground. Yeah. When we're lost within our weakness, hope is waiting to be found. We'll get through this. No matter what it takes, I believe we will, for heaven's sake. We'll get through this. When doubts are staring at the faith deep inside of you.
Okay, I'm stopping it right there, Shay, because I don't know how long we got on this. 5 o'clock today, we're doing the world premiere on my Facebook page of the music video. I'm going to send a clip to Shay that Cheryl just sent me on my text of a excerpt that I'll send to Shay, and Shay, you can get it out to everybody on the.
I promise I will do that. As we come down the home stretch, we want to thank Dr. Willie Jolley. I just want to take a moment, Dr. Willie Jolley, and talk about one concept, as you've shared so many, and it's one of our mantras here at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, that today is my January 1st. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are out there and you know what's about to happen, you can go and look right below the video and write those words. Today is my January 1st. Just write that right now. Today is my January 1st. For those folks that are hearing it for the first time, today is my January 1st represents moments throughout the day. And there's so many moments throughout the day where you make a decision, and that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life. You either go to the gym, or in this case, sit at home and go to the gym, or you sit on the couch and you do nothing. You either eat hamburgers and French fries, or you go to the refrigerator, you get some broccoli and some kale and some Brussels sprouts out. Today is my January 1st is a do-over. It's a start again. It's your past doesn't equal your future. You choose when you want to get started. So every morning when you wake up is a January 1st moment. Dr. Willie Jolley, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what does it mean to you? What resonates with you? What does it mean to you?
Today of my January 1st is really like what I talk about in these principles. That is a mindset. The reason you say my January 1st, every year on January 1st, people are motivated. I'm going to make this a great year. And they start making some plans. They're motivated. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make this day, this year, is only one day different from December 31st. But something happens between December 31st and January 1st mentally that we say it's different. We've crossed a barrier. The day is going to be a new year. Okay? And so imagine you woke up with that. Today is my January 1st every day. That today is different from the day yesterday. It's a big chasm we've crossed. I'm going to do something different today than make this day much better than yesterday. And that goes back to these principles. Don't panic. Don't willingly participate or commiserate. Don't let your pride poison your prosperity. Don't stop thinking about the power and possibilities of tomorrow. Be proactive today. Be creative. Use your juices. All your juices. Do something. Last one, though, I got to tell you is be prayerful. You got to be prayerful. You got to stay prayed up, because prayer changes things. But as Grandma told me, this is all you got to know. When you pray and finish praying, move your feet. Take action. Les Brown says you must pray like it all depends on God. And then you must work like it all depends on you. Today is your January 1st. Pray and thank God. Now go to work.
I love that.
All to do. Look, I'm grateful. I cannot be on anything with Shay Brown without at least showing
the Willie Jolley box. I was going to ask about the Willie Jolley box.
I'm going to ask about the box.
Tell us about the Willie Jolley box. You got to tell us about the Willie Jolley box.
Willie Jolley Wow Box is a box to help people grow themselves totally. Not just one thing, not just two things, total. It's all my books, all my audio books. We add more stuff since you've seen it last, Jacob. We've added more content. We got all my audio. We got a bunch of audio books that we didn't have before. We've got all my PBS specials, all my music, all except this new song, all my videos, audios, CDs, DVDs, all of it to help your family, help your faith, help your finances, help your future, help you grow. And it's a big box. And if you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, I spoke for the Billionaire Mastermind Forum, and they said, I want a deal. Everybody want a deal. Billionaires, millionaires, everybody want a deal. Okay? So I said, I'll give you a deal. And so I did. And they bought them up. They bought boxes. They bought boxes because they said, we want to grow to the next level. So I gave it to them for a great deal. And you can get the box. It's about almost $2,000 worth of value in the content in that box. Go and get it. And if you can't afford the box, get the bag. That'll get you started. But we just want to help people. So williejolly.com/billionaire. So I've given you 3 things today that if you're interested in speaking, while you're on this time where you're secluded and isolated and in your home, you can have a seminar on how to get up and going in the speaking business, this multi-trillion-dollar speaking business that have made millionaires and multimillionaires of Anthony Robbins and Les Brown and so many others. Get started and help you get through it. $97. williejolly.com. Let's see, youcanspeaknow.com. youcanspeaknow.com. If you want to do this goal setting to get your goals in gear, go to williejolly.com/win. williejolly.com/win. And if you want to get my box or my bag of books, we throw in. If you buy 5 books, you can get a free one. Then you get one free. You throw in one you choose. Then you go to williejolly.com/billionaire. Man, I didn't want to help people. Now, 5 o'clock today is big. This
Eastern Standard Time. That's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's folks all over the country, so make sure you're clear.
We are rolling out world premiere. It's critical. It's urgent. That's why we're doing it today. We just got it finished and final edits late last night. And we said, well, maybe we should wait till next week. Midweek is when you usually premiere videos. I said, no. It's critical. Somebody needs it. You know what? When I wrote the book, Turn Setbacks into Greenbacks, Shay, the reason I wrote that book, because I was watching the news, and I heard a story about a man on the news who had lost his job. His wife had lost her job 30 days earlier. And he was so depressed and despondent. All he could think to do was go home, take a gun, shoot his wife, shoot his 5 babies, then shot himself because he was so upset. And I hollered at the television, no, don't, oh no. See, somebody needs to hear that song who is thinking about making a permanent decision for a temporary problem. This too shall pass. And when it passes, things are going to be better than ever, really. Because after every low point in an economy or low point in a history, it bounces back. This is going to bounce back. A setback is a setup for a comeback.
Amen. Double time. One last question, Dr. Jolley. First, we want to appreciate you spending so much time with us. For everyone that's watching right now, do me a favor. Look right below the video. And just write 2 words. Just write thank you. If you want to put thank you, Dr. Jolley, great. If you want to put thank you, or you want to put we appreciate you, Dr. Jolley. If you want to put you're amazing, Dr. Jolley. If you want to put your number 1 takeaway, go ahead and do that, because your big takeaway could be someone else's big breakthrough. If you hadn't hit the share button, hit the share button right now. Hit the watch party button and just put turning setbacks into comebacks. # Willie Jolley. Make sure you go over to williejolly.com/win. Make sure you go to his website, get the books. Don't just get one for yourself. People say, well, how can I help someone else during these times, Shay? You can call Dr. Jolley's office and say, look, I want to buy 10 books. Maybe you belong to a community. Maybe you belong to the church. Maybe you belong to an organization. Just say, hey, if I need 100 books, what is that? If I need 50 books, what is it? I want to get the message out to everybody. We all can do something. If nothing else, make a commitment. You're going to at least get 2 books. No, get 2, get 4, get 5. Make a difference for someone else. If there's ever a time we need to share, now is that time. So every time you write a comment, every time you hit the watch party button, every time you hit the heart button, it helps us. I'm going to ask Dr. Jolley as we close out. I'm going to ask him, there was a time in my life when we were just getting started, like so many of you, right? And I called Dr. Jolley up and I asked him if he would come on to a program I had that was a mastermind program. And this was almost 12, 13 years ago, and he agreed. And he came on, I think it was the 31st. Yeah, it was the 31st, right before the 1st, by the way. And he told a story. I still got the recording that, Dr. Jolley. I should send that to you so you can hear your voice. It still is the same today. And that one MP3 file, if I could have warped an album back in the day, right? If I could have wore something out, I listened to that thing every day. It had to be for about 4 or 5 years. Seriously, I used to play it over and over and over again. Just one. I even memorized. I even tried to say it like him, because it meant that much to me. So, Dr. Jolley, I'd like for you to close out with one of our stories, one of my favorite stories. He'll frame
it. What it is. I don't even have to. You don't have to tell me what it is. I'll do it. But before I do, I want everybody to do me a favor, please. Do me a favor. If you want to get the books and the downloads, that's why they're there, to help people. But I need a favor. I want to get this video out to everybody globally. I want you all to join me at 5 o'clock. And if you can't join at 5, get access to the video. We'll get through this video. It premieres at 5 o'clock today. I want you to share it with everybody in your network, because you just don't know which person looks fine on the outside, but they've fallen apart on the inside. I don't want to miss one person who potentially could be uplifted. So I'll close with my favorite story and Shay's favorite story. I was a news speaker. I had no books, no tapes, no television, no radio. had no credentials to be a speaker. Struggling to keep the lights on, struggling to keep the phones on. I'd make sales calls. I'd say, hey, I'm Willie Jolley. I'm a motivational speaker. Who? I never heard of you. Bam! I'd get depressed. Anybody ever had that rejection where people hang up on you? That kick in the gut? I wouldn't make any more calls that day because I'd be so discouraged. They had taken my courage. Discouragement means to take away courage. I was discouraged. I'd take a couple of days and have to work on my dander to get myself ready to make calls again. Well, finally, I got my confidence one morning. I said, I'm going to make calls today. And the first guy I talked to, he said, I like the way you're talking, young man. I'm having a meeting. You know what? I could use a speaker. I wasn't planning. I was going to do a networking session, but it might be good to have a speaker over this luncheon session. Yeah. It's going to be in Orlando, Florida. I like your energy. I'll pay you. Told me what he could pay me. I said, wow. He said, we'll fly you down and you give your speech. I said, great. I flew down to Orlando and I gave my speech. And at the end of my speech, they gave me a standing ovation. Then they gave me a check. And it was what I had been told I'd get plus a bonus. Wow. For doing such a good job. I said, wow. Put the check in my pocket. Finished meeting and greeting people. Went on back to the airport to fly home. Feeling good. Got on that plane. Feeling good. Plane took off. I'm feeling good. I pulled that check out a second time to get that thrill again. But when I looked at the check the second time, I got depressed because I realized that money was already allocated. Anybody ever get your check before you get home? You know it's gone. I owed everybody money. A water company, electric company. I started having a pity party with myself right there in B22. Depressed. An older gentleman across the aisle must have sensed I was struggling. He struck up a conversation with me. He told me he was a minister. He lectured every day in a different city about health and wealth. I said, you fly every day? He said, yes. I said, you speak every day? He said, yes. We spoke for a few more minutes. Then he asked me a question that changed the trajectory of my future. He said, young man, how old do you think I am? I looked him up and down. I said, sir, I think you're about 60. He smiled. He took off his glasses. He looked me dead in the eye. He said, young man, I'm 88 years old. I'm 88, and my best is yet to come. Woo! In that moment, everything shifted in my head. If an 88-year-old man could have the optimism to believe that his best days were in front of him and not behind him, what did I have to whine and cry and complain about? And I went home with a new attitude. And I got on that phone and started making sales calls. And if people say no, I'd say next. They said, I'm not interested in what you got. I say, thank you. You're not the right one. Well, 25 years have gone by. I've been inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame. I've been named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world. I've been named a legend of the speaking industry. I've got best-selling books, television and radio, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. And I came here to say to you, without a question in your mind, your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. You have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. It's forced upon you. You can't refuse it. You didn't seek it. You didn't choose it, but it's up to you to use it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give account if you abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but your eternities are wrapped up in it. God bless you. Thank you for having me. Keep the faith. Together, we'll get through this. We'll get through this.
Thank you so much, you all. You've been listening to the one and only Dr. Willie Jolley. Go and hit the share button. Make sure you join them today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want you to know that you're all amazing. We appreciate every single one of you who watched the program, who shared the message with your network. Without you, there is no show. Remember, today is your January 1st. And as Dr. Jolley just said, the best is still yet to come. The best is yet to come. Remember that time is long, but life is short. Enjoy the moment, be present, and your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things out. We connect again next time. God bless, and we wish you success. See you later. Bye-bye. made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.